everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Amy from Amy Katz Colors. In today's video, I am going to be just kind of talking about a coloring update for me. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Just wanted to pop on and share just general thoughts and ideas and updates from me. So I hope you stick around and enjoy. So for those of you who are listening in for the first time, I'm kind of relatively new here. I'm a relatively new colorist. I created my YouTube channel back towards the end of April 2024, and then I went live with my first set of videos about a month ago. I think it was early July. That I did that, and I'm now celebrating up to, I've posted my 10th video, so yay for that. I'm learning still. I've been coloring my whole life, but I did not actively participate, nor was I really aware, I will say, much of the growing coloring community and its presence on social media. So back in January of 2024, I don't know what was really the reason for me figuring this out. I can't tell you what exactly it was that I was doing or what I was looking for, but I kind of realized that there was a lot more stuff out there on YouTube and also on Instagram. And so I got re-interested, even though I have coloring books and a color, as a hobby. I wasn't really big into it, and it definitely wasn't doing a lot in the way of techniques. I wasn't aware. I would say for me, it's more of an awareness thing about all the mediums and things that you can get, and even just some of the illustrators and artists that have come about and are pretty popular now in the coloring community just within the past 4 or 5 years. So I'm learning and growing, started YouTube, and before that I actually went ahead and started my coloring Instagram account, which is also Amy Katz Colors. I have actually quite a few subscribers or followers. It's followers for Instagram, isn't it? I have quite a few, I think over 300 followers now. It grows pretty quickly. I think there's definitely, it's kind of, I don't know. It depends on your preference, but it can be easier. Instagram can. And a lot of people hop on Instagram. There's probably more people who look at Instagram than even YouTube these days because it's quick and short. So I've been on there and have been really active on my Instagram account. I don't do TikTok. I don't even know what else is out there. I have kids. I should know this. I have 2 teenagers, or I have 1 teenager and 1 almost teenager. But yeah, I think so. I think I mentioned before, maybe one of my videos, I kind of made a really bad assumption back around COVID in 2019, 2020, that because adult coloring had hit a peak in terms of retail. I noticed that in a lot of stores, retail stores, discount stores, that they were pulling less and less SKUs, less and less offerings around adult coloring books. And so I kind of just felt like that must mean that it's not as popular as it was before. And what I mean is you could go into Walmart, Target, Michael's, Dollar Tree, any kind of craft store, and you could see, there's always, they used to make a point back in when this really got big. What was it, 2016, 2017? They used to make a really big point of having all these displays and end caps and everything around adult coloring. It really got big. I think it started, there was a lot of Zen doodly things. There was a lot of mandalas. Dover Creative Haven got really big. So, and then that kind of dropped off. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it made me sad in a way, because I was like, well, there's not as much stuff to look at in the stores. I don't really know what's out there. This is making me feel really old, by the way, as I'm speaking, and I'm not. I turned 40 last year. And I have kids, like I said, so I really should be a little more in tune with what's going on. Sometimes it's hard for me because I work full time and then outside of the home in an office, and it's a lot. So I work a lot, and then when I'm not working, I'm heavily involved in my kids' lives, right? They have activities and sports, and that's a great thing. It's a good thing. So I actually have not so much time for my hobbies, for which coloring is one of them. Reading is another. I like to cross stitch. I like to go to concerts. I like to play video games. There's a lot of things I like to do. But I mean, colorists, know thyself. And I think I heard that. Someone says that, and I could be making this up. It might be Dee Dee Williams or Inky Well. I swear someone used to say, colorist, know thyself. Like for me, setting goals and coloring and all that, like I know what's good for me and what works well for me. And that's really what matters, right? Because you're having fun. It's relaxing. It's therapeutic. For me personally, that's why I like to color. And so, for example, if I color 5 or 6 pages a month, that is really good for me. That's a really good month, because in the past, I might have colored 1 or 2 pages a year. Even though it was a hobby, I just had a hard time making time for it. It's just that point in time in your life and what you have time for and what you don't, right? And what you prioritize. Same thing with reading. Like there were definitely years where I might have read 1 or 2 books a year, and now at least I'm up to 20 to 30 books a year, which is really, really good for me. Now I know that that's not everybody. There's a lot of people who are doing way, way, way more than that. And that's fantastic. And I'm happy for them. I'm glad for them. I like to see it. I like to see what people are doing and working on. I just know that that's not achievable for me right now at this point in my life. Maybe later when my kids get older and, are out of the home, or maybe attending college or university, whatever they decide to do, that I'll end up getting some of that time back. So anyway, I made this assumption that coloring was like maybe not as big as it used to be, and some of the people that I followed even didn't have as much of a presence. I mentioned Reading with Pugs. Jen Reading with Pugs was one of the first YouTubers that I followed on social media because she liked reading, she liked Disney, she loves Halloween, she loves Disney for that matter. And I watched her channel, and then as she became busy as a mother and a wife and doing a lot more with her son, like I think she kind of scaled back some of her videos too. So this was just things that I was noticing, and so I kind of stopped watching that on YouTube. I watched more things about Disney parks and Disney travel. I watched lifestyle vlogs from people online. I like to watch videos about makeup because I also like makeup, but I don't have the time, nor I wouldn't say money is necessarily an object for me. It's just that I'm thrifty and I don't like to spend money needlessly. I don't want to just buy a bunch of stuff if I'm not going to use something or it's not going to work out. So when I watch YouTube, and this goes for coloring and then just anything in general that I'm watching on YouTube, I like to kind of get feedback. It's like when you read reviews on Amazon, you look at ratings on Goodreads. Like I kind of like to figure out what people are saying, what's the consensus. So, and that kind of helps me make a better, more informed decision. This morning I've laid up a couple of my pretty supplies here. I'm going to share a few of what's, going on right now with me coloring. I've got my coffee, local coffee shop with the seasonal brew. This is an iced coffee called Donkey Kong, and it's actually a combination of dark chocolate and banana, and it is delicious. I love it. Very excited about that. Got my Hokey Bird Virginia Tech coaster and my Care Bears little notebook. I am just writing in this thing right now. I haven't jazzed it up. I haven't used, glitter gel pen or washi or anything I really want to. Like seeing everybody's journals, art journals and coloring journals really inspires me to want to do that. And so I hope that I can do that. It's just not necessarily a priority right now. I kind of know what it is I'm going to be coloring. And this is going to take a lot, I think, additional time that I don't necessarily have right now. So we just peek in here a little bit. I did start writing down some things about my coloring statistics back at the beginning of July. So this was July 7th. I approximately had owned at that point on July 7th about 89 coloring books to my best knowledge that I could figure out. And I say it like that because I don't put all my coloring books in one place necessarily. I have a couple dedicated bookshelves, but I have them scattered throughout my house. I have coloring books in my travel bags. I have them in my dining room, my kitchen, my family room, and it's just I take them out and I work on them, and I have planned to color things, and so they get moved. I have a craft room too. So 89, that just gives you a good idea, because you know I'm kind of starting out. It's growing. Since then, so this is early July, I have probably purchased another 5 to 10 coloring books since then. So I'm getting close to the 100 coloring book mark. Pretty exciting stuff. 21 completely untouched books as of early July. So that's about 23% of my collection. I was gonna film a separate video on my untouched books, but I kind of wanted to wait until I picked up a little more activity on YouTube and Instagram before I do that, because one of my goals with that was to see if people wanted to reach out and comment about what they thought I should color next, or if they wanted to do a buddy color. So I was going to wait on that until I pick up my channel a little bit more. My channel's only been around and active for just over a month now, so it doesn't really make sense to do that quite yet. Some of my untouched books, it's like intentional too, because they're like autumn or Halloween theme, and I know I'm going to start coloring those in September, and I haven't colored in them yet. So I know that was on purpose. I had 14 whips or going on, or only colored by Catherine, that's my daughter, by Kat. So 14 books that contained either a work in progress by me or only my daughter had colored in it and I had not. I purchased 30 books between January and July of 2024 year to date. So about 34% of my collection is new. And I told you, so that hopefully makes sense. I told you why that is. It looks like I had, prior to getting, back into the coloring community and seeing stuff on YouTube and Instagram, looks like I had only about 59 books. My current favorites, I fell in love with the color by number from Hatchet Heroes, the Disney. There's a lot of Disney ones, but there's also a lot of them that aren't Disney. There are some that, like, there's a Barbie one now, there's 3 Looney Tunes, or there's 2 that are out, maybe one that's coming out soon. There's Smurfs, and then there's like cats and landscapes, and Japan, I think, is one of them. I think there's a witchy one, or wizards. There's all kinds of stuff. I really love them, and I didn't think that I would. I mentioned this in the color by number video that I just did, but it took me actually putting my hands on one and trying one out at a friend's house to be sold on that, because I had seen lots of videos and I love Disney, but I just felt like it wasn't something I was going to enjoy, even though people were saying that they enjoyed it, until I actually got to try it myself. So I really love those. I really love Lulu Mayo. I've colored, I think, 2 pictures in the Million Little Kawaii Cuties, also known as A Million Little Sweet Things. And both of those pictures, or the coloring pages, I really love them, and I really enjoyed coloring in them. My daughter has a million cats, and I also have a million little monsters, and I have not started coloring in that one yet. But I love her artwork, and I love the books. I love Matchstick Mouse by Morgan O'Brien. That was something else that I learned about this year through YouTube and Instagram. And I also have A Way Home, the one that looks like Baby Yoda in Star Wars theme. I also have that one from his coffee shop. But so far for Matchstick Mouse, I have Summer. I think that's the only one that I have. And then I have a bunch in my Amazon cart and wish list, and then plans to purchase later this year. My tendency as a for this hobby is that I like to kind of ease my way into the collections. I try to figure out what I want first, and then I just purchase a first book, and I want to color in it first before I buy more. It just makes me feel better about it, and I also it makes me feel like I'm not just buying stuff for the sake of buying it. I understand that some people like to do that, and I have nothing against that personally. That is your prerogative. I think people also just like to collect stuff, right? And you like to see it, you like to own it, you like to flip through. I respect that. I get that. But this is just my approach. And then I feel like I'm rewarding myself at the end of the day if I have found something and I want to get more. So like Mini Mania is an example of that. Like I have the first book. I did not purchase the rest of them, and she's up to number 5. So, but Matchstick Mouse is also kind of the same way. All right, let me see. And then Camellia Angelkova, also new to me illustrator in 2024. I had no idea. I love her illustrations. I like that her pages are pretty easy to color. I like that I can do alcohol markers in her pages. They're very approachable. And so when we went on vacation in July to the beach, I purchased 3 for that trip, and those were the first 3 that I own. And they are Vacation Miniatures, Ocean Miniatures, and Seaside. What do you call it? The Seaside, Diminutive Seaside. Those are 3 that I own. And for Easter, this is actually the first time I bought one was for my daughter for Easter. In her Easter basket, I got her the 50 Easter miniatures. But I really am enjoying Camellia Angelkova. I'm talking a lot. I need a coffee break. Hold on, give me a second. This is so yummy. It's like eating when you eat a if you like chocolate covered bananas, that's what this tastes like. Okay, things that I'm looking forward to. So I don't own any Rita Berman, and after watching so many videos about with her that feature her books and her illustrations, I am so like mouth-watering excited to get Rita Berman. And I think what I'm going to do, I really like the seasons, and she has one that includes some from each season, all 4 seasons, and that's the book that I want to get. I like quite a few of Alexandra Francis, so I'm excited. I have some of hers picked out in my coloring wish list and on Amazon cart that I want to get. I'm really excited to purchase Amanda Color's Lovely Things book, and I'll do that the next time I get kind of a group together of things that I want to order. I don't own any Maria Troll or Maria Trolle, and I've picked out a couple of hers that I want to start with. Jade Summer has a bunch of, that's a publishing house, I think. There's quite a few books that I like that are Jade Summer. I don't actually own any Jade Summer. And then more mythographic books, because I only own one, and it's not one of the favorites actually that you see on YouTube. It's one of the more recent. It was early 2024. Let me see. I think it's close enough by that I can grab it. It's Crystal Kingdom. So Crystal Kingdom, and I actually love this book. This is Veronica Kolinska. Which she's one of the newer artists for mythographic. I don't know that she's one of the favorite ones just yet, but people like Fabiana. I have some of Fabiana's books, actually. I have an Alice in Wonderland, Fabiana Attanasio, but I love this book. Unpopular opinion, and I've completed this one here, which is this fantastic crystal castle with a giant octopus sitting over top of it. And for the octopus, I used some glossy accents. I used some stickles on the sparkle to make the castle look like kind of the clear crystal or like diamond-y. I used, for some of the facets, I used blue. Some of them I used pink. And then I went over the whole thing with Wink of Stella, which may be hard to see in here. I based everything with alcohol marker. And then I did some shading with Prismacolor. For those of you who don't know, Prismacolor is my color pencil of choice here in the US. They're easy to get. They're open stock. I've had them since like 2016, 2017. I recently upgraded from the 72 to 130. Wait, yeah, 72 to 132. 72 would have been actually just fine, to be honest with you. I've been using the 72 set for years. They're in good shape, but I thought it was time. I'm coloring more. And some, not very many, but some of my original set are now getting, some of the pencils are getting pretty short. So I'm gonna get some extenders, and I got the new set. And the other thing that I like about that is my 72 set I can share with people. Like we just did our beach vacation. I let my nieces use them. I let my daughter use them. I will travel with them. I won't be afraid of like them getting lost or messed up. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, Mythographic, listen, it's taken a lot of willpower for me to not run out and like order all the Mythographic books, because they're just so gorgeous. And I love just, I think other people have talked about this too. I also like just sitting there. This is like an ASMR thing for both, you know, the mediums, but the books, to like flip through books and hear like the pages turning, the smell of the paper, and looking at the illustrations. I'm gonna TMI maybe, but one of the things that I like to do sometimes, and this helps with kind of anxiety and stress, is I'll grab a coloring book, maybe that I haven't looked at in a long time, and I'll take it with me for my commute to work. I'll throw it in the car, and then like if I'm stopped or before I get out of the car, before I leave the car or whatever, I'll sit there and look at it, because I really enjoy doing that too. I totally get it. So for this one, I love all the pages in here. I'm really looking forward to coloring this one with the fox, the otter, the snake. I'm really excited about that one. I think it's towards the front. It might be this one with the tortoise and all the gemstones and crystals on his back. I'm really excited about that one. I love this one with all the different sea life. There are so many in here that I'm excited to color in, but you know, you all know, like now as my coloring collection's growing, it's becoming more and more difficult to touch all the books. So, but yeah, Mythographic. And after watching all of the videos on Mythographic, for me personally, the ones that are on my wish list that I want to get next, even though some of them have the hidden objects, I want Paradise, what is it? Frozen Fantasies and Magical Earth. Magical Earth actually, I think consistently is a favorite amongst a lot of colorists. The other two, they are older. The hidden objects doesn't necessarily bother me. I actually would probably color them separate and all the same, like using a gold or silver gel pen or something like that. But it doesn't bother me. I get that they're completely random, but okay, so those are things I'm looking forward to. You can see some of the other things that I like to write in here, like video ideas, color and chat. I haven't actually done that. Completed pages. I did do that for my what's in my vacation travel bag. I showed all of the stuff that I packed with me for the beach vacation, and then I showed everything that I colored, like completed pages from what I colored from vacation. But that's really been my only completed pages video so far. I know that that needs to be something that I prioritize and start filming next. Even if it's like everything I colored from January to July, because I don't color as much, like I need to do that. No one's really requested any flip throughs yet. That's fine. That kind of makes sense. I have not really done a coloring haul. I've shared a couple of the new things that I got, like for the beach trip. And then I'm doing this right now, coloring updates. So yeah, but I've been enjoying it so far. I definitely making sure that I'm telling myself, like, you got to do what makes you happy. Don't forget that, you know. I don't want to get to the point where I feel like, oh gee, I got to film something. What am I going to film? Or, you know, maybe I should do this. I'll get more follows or views or likes. Like, it's not about that for me. Yes, it's kind of rewarding to feel that, but I'm doing this because I enjoy coloring. I love coloring and I want to share it with people. And if people watch, great. If they don't, great. But I should really focus on what works for me and what I like to do, and sharing what I want to update, and try not to get swept up in all the hype about different things. Because I'm doing this to help stay motivated, like many of you, to stay motivated in coloring. I'm doing it to participate more with other colorists, comment and on their, you know, videos, and like and subscribe to their channels. I also want to buddy color. I haven't really done that. I have one scheduled that I'll talk about here in a few minutes. And then I color with my daughter a lot, but just to kind of engage a little bit more and also give back, because I thought about it and I was like, well, I love that there's so many people on YouTube coloring, and even if you didn't like what they were coloring or weren't into their style, that's okay, because there's so many people on YouTube and Instagram now that it doesn't matter. You can find, there is literally something for everybody. You can find a channel or a style or a whatever, long videos, short videos. You can find something that you enjoy watching, which I think is super cool. And I was like, well, let me be a part of that, because I would hate that it would dwindle down. And I would hate for the hobby to lose momentum or lose popularity. So that was kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to do it in the first place. So I think that covers some of the stats. The only other thing I was going to share, I have a couple books in here picked out that I was just going to talk about. So Mini Mania, this is another one of my favorites right now. I just think it's really, really cute. There is what do you call it? A project follow along. I think it's Coloring Bumblebee. You know, I'm going to do my research while I'm editing, and I'll put it up on the screen. But there's a follow along on social media where a page is selected each month. I guess once I realized that, I was like, well, yeah, let me do that. I participated. Here's June's. I'm going to push this back a little bit so I can make sure I'm kind of in the middle here. So here's June's. Let me peek real quick. It looks like I'm centered. Okay. And then what other? I haven't done many, and I did skip July. There was May. I did May all in colored pencil, and I really liked how this turned out. This is my first attempt at doing a sunset. So I thought that was really pretty. This is all Prismacolor. This I did alcohol marker and Prismacolor, and then did some glossy accent on the bubbles. You're not going to be able to see that. And then some highlighting with Posca pen or some type of gel pen. So I have those two, and then I just started working on the one for August. So I really like that. I just started a new project book with my daughter and also one of my friends. She doesn't know it yet, but when I give her the book, she will. And this is Tiny Cats from Cocowayo. And I really liked this book, and I loved all the pages in the book. I think it's super cute, single-sided. And we've done our first page together that I picked out. Hold on. Was this one. Alcohol marker base with Prismacolor, a little bit of Prismacolor shading, plus I've got gel pen. This is hard to see, but it's metallic watercolor. It was a lot darker yellow than I wanted it to be underneath, because I really wanted it to be almost like this transparent yellow that is what the lemon slices actually look like, but it's a little bit darker, but that's okay. So we did this one and she did one too. It's up on Instagram. Here, I got her book right over here. Let's see if I can find her page. She did a really nice job. I'm just gonna cover up her name and stuff. So, I mean, her name is Catherine, but the other details. She used colored pencils. She likes to use Crayola colored pencils. I let her pick, since I picked this one, she picked the next page that we're gonna do, and we're gonna do this donut page together. We'll separately and then we'll share afterwards what we both, and it's really cool. Just like a buddy color is really cool to like see what people do in different colors that they selected. So we have this one. Up on my channel, the last video that I posted was about color by number. I love color by number. I don't have nearly as many color by number as I do regular coloring books. I am looking for that. I'm looking at people's videos and in Instagram and trying to figure out what else I want. But I would highly recommend this book. I think there are some similar ones out there from other publishers, excuse me. This one is from Sun Life, but I think the selling point for me is just that the variety of the different types of color by number. You have dots and lines, you have mosaic, you have stained glass, you have different seasons, and then this was really helping for me to figure out what I like. And there's a huge variety. So if you haven't checked out that video, go take a look. I talk about color by number. I share the few books that I have, including the Hatchet Heroes and this one. Another book that I'm working on with the groups, there's actually two. There's the Color With Us that's hosted by Disney Meg and Amanda Colors, and then also I think Coloring Bumblebee. Magic Jars coloring book from Coloring Book Cafe. I really liked this book and purchased it earlier this year. I started back in May for Mermaid with this one, and I don't like the color that it turned out, but I used metallic watercolor for the back and alcohol marker for really the rest. Some glitter, this was Stickles, and some Posca for highlighting. I really like this book, and I can do these really quickly. I think I have August, one of the two August I have marked ready to work on. I did one of the June photos that was selected, and then I did one of the groups that had this one for July. I think it was the Color With Us Facebook group. Incidentally, I think the May was the same across both groups. I think they both picked the mermaid, I think. So I think this book is really cute. I'm obviously way behind, and I'll go back and pick some of those up. And that's the beauty of it for me, is like, I don't feel necessarily obligated. You know, if I can get to it, I can get to it. If I can't, I can't. If I like the page, I'll do it. If I don't, you know what I mean? So, but I try to color along with these. That kind of motivates me a little bit. And then the last book I was going to talk about, like, I also really like R.J. Hampson. Also new to me this year as an illustrator. This is the one and only book that I have so far. I love it, and I love the feel of the matte texture on this cover. It's delicious. This book is great. I have a buddy color that I reached out to someone on social media to do for August/September, whenever we can get to it. I haven't started mine. But I really like his books, and I'm going to be getting more. He's also geared some of his more recent books to the simple and bold, and I like those too. He has the Asleep and Awake. These books are great, and the one that I did, this is one of the first books that I purchased when I got back into coloring this year. I did this one back in February, actually, and I don't even think I put this on Instagram. I love it to begin with because of the cherry blossoms and the dragon, but I also, because it's like the year of the dragon, that was one of the reasons why I picked this one. So it's Winter Blossoms. And I think I just randomly picked a color palette in my head. I didn't look anything up that I wanted to do. I think I knew I wanted to do a red and gold dragon. I know that cherry blossoms are the pink color, so I tried to incorporate that into her dress. and I think it looks okay. I only did a thin layer of the colored pencils, and you can kind of tell that. I think in the dragon, you can't tell, but I think there's also like a watercolor pencil that I used. Because I have a set, I have like the small 12 set of the Derwent just regular watercolor pencils. I don't have the Inktense, and that's on my list. My short list of things that I want to buy are the Inktense, because I don't have those yet. So anyway, those are kind of the ones that were already sitting here because they're things that I'm working on or filmed or, you know, whatever it is. So these were here ready for me to talk about them. Ooh, let's do an honorable mention because I didn't have this one teed up, but I have always loved Johanna Basford. I have the Christmas book that I've tried to color in every year, like one picture in December around Christmas time. And I also own the Magical Jungle. Is that it? I own that, but I haven't colored in it. My daughter's colored in it. I keep saying that I want to color in it and I haven't, but I love small victories. I've colored maybe 3. This one was the Dollar Tree Supply Challenge and actually looks pretty good for it just being very limited supplies. I did this one on a train to New York when we went up for spring break. I did it entirely on the train, and that was cool. This was the first one that I did. I have noticed seems to be a pretty popular page in this book. There's more people have posted this one than probably any of the others. This is back in February. Again, Prismacolors. You'll see my usual suspects. I don't have a lot of different things. Prismacolor and Jelly Roll Gel Pen. And then I think I have one more. I know I have one more. I don't know where it is. But I love this book. I love that it's small. I love that you can sit down. I do have one more. I have my July 4th one. Here it is. July 4th. And this one is on social media. I wanted to do something with the background. So I have this stamp that's a star. And I did like a metallic silver ink. And I like what that added. A very simple, you know, color palette with the reds and blues, a little bit of shading. I based this with water-based marker. They were Ohuhu water-based markers, and then I went back over it with some Prismacolor to shade it. But I love this one and how it turned out. I have so many plans for this book, and I really love it. And I'm excited about her next one too. I watched her video where she presented the flip through of her new book that's coming out. I forget the name, and I think she changed the name. It's something with magical something. And there's kind of a lot of whimsical, a lot of castle, you know, maybe unicorn, a lot of different things like that. I'm excited about that, but yeah, I love Johanna Basford. So this is an honorable mention in the things that I'm enjoying coloring right now because I really enjoy coloring in here too. So the other recent purchase, while I'm at it and talking about recent purchases, we did another Lyrica. Lyrica, if you don't know, is where you can get a lot of the art therapy, the Disney art therapy and Hatchet Hero books. And it's free shipping as long as you spend like a pretty low amount. I want to say it's like $20 or $25. The color by numbers we got from Lyrica, you just have to wait like 2 or 3 weeks to get it if you're in the US, and that's fine. But after we got our first color by number, the most recent purchase that we did were the square books. So I got this one for my daughter, Princesses Through the Seasons. Les Grands, I don't know how to say this. I never took French. I took German. It's basically squares. Carrés? Someone French tell me. And then portraits in the squares. So I actually bought these two, and then I let my daughter pick which one she wanted to keep. And I told her I got this one with her in mind because we watched a video, and when we were watching it, she was looking, shoot, I did it again. She was looking and she was like, ooh, that's cute. And I was like, okay, I had that one in mind. Sorry. Now I'm gonna have to go back and edit some of that. All right, whatever. So that one for her, and then this one for me, and I've only done one so far, and it was Forky. And after I did it and posted it, I realized I had meant to put some rosy cheeks on here for him using the, like some ink, like some stamp ink or something like that. But I did Forky and just did a random number generator to figure out which one I was going to work on. So I really like the size of these. And I really like these books in general, like as far as Disney books go. So we have that going on. I think that's it, guys. This video is probably pretty long. I hope you enjoyed. It's been really fun doing this and participating, and I can't emphasize this enough. Like, I'm not saying all these other channels and people that I've been following, but I love you all, and I love watching other people's videos and seeing what's out there, because like I said in the beginning, I wouldn't know otherwise. You don't see these books. If I go shopping, I'm not going to see any of these books. I think the only thing that they have in stores anymore are like Mythographic, Johanna Basford, oftentimes Kirby, which I knew about Kirby and have Kirby books for sure. Love Kirby. And then just some random things that are like pop culture, right? Like if it's a Harry Potter book or Golden Girls or Stranger Things, Game of Thrones, that type of thing. There's a lot of those type books that you can go out and get, but there's not necessarily a lot of other things. So this really helps. So thank you so much. I really can't say it enough, and I'll try to say it in every video, that I'm really thanking everyone out there for, making the content, putting yourselves out there, because it's really appreciated. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining, and have a great day.